Have you ever felt like time is moving much faster now than it did when you were a child? Is this something that is actually happening physically, or is it just a trick being played by our own brains? While I was scrolling through TikTok, I came across a curious video. It showed two clocks side by side. One was an old wall clock from the 1800s, and the other was a standard modern clock. The strange thing was, in the video, the time on the modern clock seemed to be ticking away much faster. I checked the comments to see if I was the only one seeing this, and it turns out many people felt the same way. Some were even claiming that since the 1800s, the actual flow of time has been gradually accelerating. Think about that. It would mean a second today is faster than a second was in the 1800s. But for something like that to be true, our entire global system, our physics, and our technology would have to be completely different. Now, I'm not saying the video is 100% accurate, but it raises a huge question. Why do we feel like time is moving faster? Instead of just ignoring this conspiracy, we decided to look for the real scientific reason. Factually speaking, the speed of time hasn't changed at all since the 1800s. Because the Earth's rotation hasn't significantly changed, physics tells us that time remains constant. We can say that with absolute certainty. So why the feeling of speed? The answer isn't found inside a clock. It's inside your brain. This phenomenon is called psychological time compression. Your brain doesn't measure time in seconds or minutes. It measures it based on the events and experiences you process. When your brain is forced to process a massive amount of information at once, it feels like time is passing more quickly. Think back to your school holidays as a kid. A 20-day vacation felt like a lifetime because every little thing was a new, memorable experience. But as you get older, the number of repetitive events in your life increases, and your brain starts to fast forward through them. Now, compare an adult from the 1800s to an adult today. Back then, a person experienced much lower cognitive input. The environment was quiet. There were no digital screens, and they didn't even have the tiny distraction of a notification sound. Their daily choices were limited, and life followed a very steady, predictable pattern. Today, that mental breathing room is gone. From the moment you wake up, thousands of pieces of information flood your brain, and this video you're watching right now is one of them. Your brain has a limited capacity. As it gets overwhelmed with information, it doesn't slow down to catch up. Instead, it starts to compress everything. It stops recording the details and only saves the summary of your day. This is exactly why you look at the calendar and wonder where the year went. Time isn't moving faster, your life is just getting more crowded. When you stop living on autopilot, your brain stops compressing your days, and time starts to feel like yours again.